Hello, Rosa here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. In today's video, we'll be finishing off everything there is to see and do in the Akala region. Except for Koroks, because that's for another time. So, starting off on our adventure, we're going to be going over there, and we're going to see the swirly Vortex of Terror. And also, we'll be turning on the Dirk's Protection one more time. So yay, this is going to be fun! Again, today we'll go soaring through the sky. My enemies I dish them up and stir fry. Gracious goddess of the light, watch us from up above. At dinner time I always shall cook some love. I swear, if I ever Let's Play Kid Icarus Uprising, I'm going to be singing that all the time. This is the second time recently that I mentioned wanting Let's Play Kid Icarus Uprising. The thing is, I do want to make videos on the game someday, but I want to have a better equipment for recording 3DS audio before I do that, because my current setup isn't very good. I don't know what it is, my computer just doesn't want to take the mic that I do have set for 3DS stuff. It's not wanting to work with that, and it really annoys me. So, the first objective we'll be taking care of in today's video. There's going to be something around here that's going to be interesting. That's something that we're going to want to read with our eyeballs as opposed to reading with our nose. I mean, I know there is, like, Braille you can read by, like, moving your hand across it and things like that. Is there a language you can read by smelling it? Oh, look, it was right in front of us. I'm an idiot. Only a hero bearing this ancient orb shall be granted the right of trial on this Wrist Peninsula. Into the Vortex. Into the Vortex. Into the Vortex. Probably an unpopular opinion, but I kind of like that song more than Let It Go and Show Yourself. Because, like, I know those two songs are, like, the big, like, solo songs for the Frozen series. But Into the Unknown is my personal favorite, and I wish that it showed up more in Disney stuff, but no, it's always either Let It Go or Show Yourself. And it's like, those are good songs and all, but, like, seriously, why is there never no love for Into the Unknown and things like that? Alright, so we're going to be dealing with these jerk butts. So let's go over here. We're going to want to make sure to keep an eye on the orb, though, because I don't remember off the top of my head if there's a failure thingy that triggers if you leave it alone for too long. I'm going to get a little bit paranoid now that mind has come to mind, though. Now that mind has come to mind, that is what we like to call a repetitive speech pattern, because my speech is dumb. We're over here, click some fish! Yeah, fishies! I like fish! So this area over here, I wrote my notes that this is the swirly Vortex of Terror. And I have a bit of a story behind that reference. So one of my inspirations behind making videos was Super Skarmory. He goes by the King of Zeal now on Twitch and things like that. I don't think he does a whole lot of streams nowadays anymore, which is a bit unfortunate, but back when he first started making videos, he went by Super Skarmory. And one of the first Let's Plays I was watching around the time when I was starting to consider doing YouTube videos myself, he was doing the walkthrough for Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. And it was, I think it was the Water Temple episodes, he was mentioning that growing up he never actually made sandcastles or anything like that. He'd always make swirly vortexes of terrors in the sand. And that's something that kind of like always like stuck out to me. So I definitely knew that like I wanted to do like a bit of a reference with that, because that's always fun. At some point, I would like to do like a video with Super Skarmory, or King of Zeal, or whatever he's called nowadays, because I just think it would be really cool to eventually do a video with like my inspiration behind making videos. I don't think it's going to happen ever because, like, I don't think he does YouTube anymore, and I remember reaching out to him one time, asking if he'd be interested in doing a gaming gallery video, but he politely said no, so yeah. Probably never going to happen, but it'd still be pretty cool if it could happen someday. But enough about all that, because now we'll be going over here and collecting the next orb. We're moving onwards towards our destiny. Oh yeah. It's an orb, and it's shiny, and it's circular, which means it's a shape. And it's always important to remember your shapes, because if you mistake this for a triangle, then that might cause some very bad stuff to happen to your foot. I don't know where I was going with that. That made me think of the No, Orb, get back here! Okay. Saying that made me think of The Office when Michael was like, sometimes I'll start a sentence, I don't even know where it's going. Continuing on our merry way through the swirly vortex of terror, we gotta watch out for those stupid skeleton jerks. Yeah, you two need to go away. You two need to go get a life. You need to get a job. You need to go get married. You need to get pudding. In that order. In that exact order. If you do anything else outside of that, then... Well, I'm not going to judge because it's your life, but still. You need to get married, and then get a job. Actually, did I say married or job first? I don't even remember my own life order. So, yay! My life is out of control. Ha 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 ha. I don't even live by my own rules. Oh, we've been in this swirly vortex of terror for too long. Okay. So I'm going to try to see if we can get through the rest of this without having to fight any more bad guys and things like that. Probably not going to do very well, though, because we're running a little low on hearts, but we still have Mifa's Grace with us, so it should be okay. It should be all fine and stuff. We'll be alright. Don't worry about the future, it's alright. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. You know what just occurred to me? I never actually got far enough into Xenoblade X to hear that in the game. Because I've been saying for a while that's my personal favorite song in Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I know a lot of people don't like it because it's the flight music that plays when you're flying with a Scow. But here's the thing with that, though. I never made it far enough into Xenoblade X to unlock the flying ability. Because here's the thing that really annoys me about Xenoblade X. All of the marketing pointed towards being able to explore like a planet and things like that on a flying robot. And it looked super cool. But you don't get the Scow until a good chunk into the game. And to get the Scow itself, you gotta do like a really long string of side quests. And then when you finally get it, it doesn't fly. You gotta wait until later in the game for it to fly. And it's like, well, great. Cool. I mean, I get it because you want us to explore this place on foot first, but why do you have to go so far into the game to be able to even unlock it? And then when you do unlock it, it doesn't fly. It's the biggest thing that annoyed me about that game. I mean, I do like Xenoblade X, but there's a reason why that's the Xenoblade game I haven't finished yet. If it does ever come to Switch, though, I'm going to change that, but yeah, it's a great game, but it's just my personal favorite. It's just my personal least favorite of the Xenoblade games. I've also been trying to get into Xenoblade 3 lately, and I know this opinion is going to get outdated soon, but I've been trying to get into Xenoblade 3 lately, and I don't know what it is. Something about the game is just not clicking with me as easily as the other games. It's still really fun, and I like the characters so far. Like, I especially like Senna and Uni and Miu. Like, I think they're definitely, like, some of my favorites in the game. But I just probably need to get a little bit further into the game, but it's just not clicking with me as easily as the other Xenoblade games were. And it makes me really sad because I keep hearing it's the best in the games. I keep hearing it's the best of the Xenoblade series, and I just haven't gotten far enough to see why. So on one hand, I'm a little confused, but on the other hand, I'm really excited because it's like, okay, if literally everybody is saying it's better than the first two, why is that exactly? I gotta go into the game, I gotta go further into the game to figure out why. To you says food in the shrine. Why are you ranting about Xenoblade when you should be ranting about Zelda? Giant Ancient Core. Alright, so yeah, if you need one of those for that shrine quest and for that one side quest thingy in the Hatuno village, now you know where to find another one. You have done well to arrive at the shrine. A hero rises to right the wrongs of Hyrule. In the name of the goddess Hylia, congratulations on being able to walk around a giant circular vortex of terror. Bravo! Hyrule is in good hands with you around. May the goddess keep you away from me. I just always love this area right here, just how huge this field is. It's enough to make a grown man cry, but not this man. Get back in there, Tyr. So there's some guardian sentries down here. We might want to be careful and avoid fighting them if we can. Or, you know, just ignore all of that too, because you can also use the super amazing powers of using the Guardian Shield, of using the Shield Bash ability to knock their lasers back. But we gotta be quiet, because we don't make sure we don't get caught in this area. Because these guys are super mean. They're gonna beat up our lunch money and steal our cookies. Do you want to know what happened to the last guy who stole cookies from me? You don't want to know, because nobody has ever stolen cookies from me. Because they've never tried. I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, now we're over here. And this is the destination we're going towards. And we did it! Yay! We made it through with no problems! The Spring of Power.
I come seeking help regarding this power that has been handed down over time. Prayer will awaken my power to seal Ganon away. Or so I've been told all my life. And yet, Grandmother heard them. The voices from the spirit realm. And Mother said her own power would develop within me. But I don't hear or feel anything. Father has told me time and time again. He always says, quit wasting your time playing at being a scholar. Curse you. I've spent every day of my life dedicated to praying. I've pleaded to the spirits tied to the ancient gods. And still the holy powers have proven deaf to my devotion. Please, just tell me. What is it? What's wrong with me?
Within Spring of Power, there's another statue right there. And just like the previous one, we need to figure out a dragon skill to bring here. Here's the thing about that, though. The dragon needed for this place is kind of on the other side of the kingdom. So, sometime around this point in time, near the Tabantha Great Bridge, Tanagar Canyon area, that's where this dragon is going to be. You can also find it located up here in the Elden region as well. So that's something that's definitely worth keeping in mind too. The dragon's name is Dinral, and you're going to be my dinner. Apparently. So, yeah, that's going to be something to be fun. And make sure you have your bow and arrow equipped before you actually do anything. That might be a good first step towards achieving your destiny. So we'll be going over this way now, and following along the canyon walls and things like that, so we can destroy the dragon. I keep thinking of that clip that I edited together for that one video, where It was like Link and the Dragon talking, you know, it was a clip from The Simpsons where it's all like, "Hey, dragon, you fly like a girl." Alright, so now we're seeing the dragon. Yay, I like dragons. Dragons are awesome. And I gotta say, I think this one might be my favorite. Even though I do still think that the Spring of Wisdom dragon is really cool looking, this one just looks awesome. This one just looks so cool. Alright, let's see if we can get as many of the things as we can. I don't think it's going to drop a whole lot of the things, but we only really need one for the side quest, so we should be okay. Hopefully you're a scale and not some other weird collectible thingy. Dengar Canyon Course. That landed right... Can you imagine that landed on the Goron's head? That would have been funny. This precious scale fell from the red spear Denral. It emanates a great heat. You can use it in cooking, but just eating it seems like a waste. Alright, so this right here, this is kind of like a pretty interesting minigame, but we're going to save that for another time because we're kind of focusing on Akala stuff right now. So, yeah, just putting a note, just putting like a pin in that for a little while. We will be coming back here, just not for a little while. And I always knew Skyward Sword wasn't lying to me. There was a waterfall and there was stuff behind it. And oh boy, another major test of strength. At this point in the journey, it kind of makes sense to speed up the remaining major tests of strength and things like that, because there isn't a whole lot left for us to say about the remaining ones, but this one I gotta say is a bit more interesting, because, yeah, it is another major test of strength, but we don't have any columns in the area, so we do gotta use Cryonis to stop him instead. I'm a little too nervous to try this right now, but I remember one time I was able to time it in a way where the Cryonis activated and the Guardian just kind of like was flying upwards a little bit. He didn't fly super high or anything like that, but he did fly in the air for a little bit. I remember thinking it was like the funniest thing in the world. Oh, you are all stunned and stuff. Well, you were stunned for a moment. Okay, now you're gonna be doing... Oh, no, you're against the wall now. That's not good. Okay, I was hoping we could do the circly thingy against that, but I guess it's not gonna work. Well, I guess we can do like a half circle. But we still did it anyway. There's really not that much more to say about the major test of strength, so... Yeah, even though this one is a little bit more unique compared to the previous ones, because it takes place in water and things like that, there's still not that much to say about them. So, that definitely is one thing they can change in Tears of the Kingdom. And I think I'm at the point right now where I can like confidently say that I do like that there are tons of shrines for you to find throughout the game, but a lot of them do also kind of feel like padding. I feel like 100 would have been a lot more of a solid number for how many shrines are in this game. Like 120 is still a good, respectable number and things like that, but a lot of them are also still the test of strengths and things like that. And it does make sense that a lot of them are reserved behind shrine quests like this, because a lot of the puzzle solving revolves getting into the shrine itself. But at the same time, yeah, I definitely think that is something they can improve on in the next game. With all that taken care of, I'd like to end this video off on a really cool note. So Breath of the Wild does contain a lot of really cool references to previous Zelda games, but they're pretty subtle. They don't really, hammer it into your head that, hey, this is a reference to Ocarina of Time, or this is a reference to Majora's Mask, or things like that. Because even though Twilight Princess is a great game, it is also just a little bit distracting, seeing all the Ocarina of Time references that are all over the place and things like that. So that's what I really like about Breath of the Wild. So we've seen this plenty of times throughout our adventure with things like the Legend of Zelda theme appearing in the music that plays you're riding on horseback, or the fact that Lorelei Village is outside island from Wind Waker, or at least has the same layout as it. This place has another reference, and it's probably my favorite in the entire game. So take a close look at this place. We see all those trees over there. We see this beautiful lake with the waterfalls on the sides of it. This platform that's kind of leading into like a sanctuary-like place, all coming from this area that looks like it once belonged to a much larger structure. This is Skyview Temple from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. That is just one of the coolest things in the world. I love that so much. That means that the Akala region itself used to be Thorn Woods from Skyward Sword. That is just so cool. I love it so much. It's so... I love that reference. I love Skyward Sword. And when I realized that this was the Skyview Temple, man, I wish I was recording my expression, because that was a true mind-blowing realization right there. I've been waiting for a while to share that. I'm super happy that I was finally able to. And now we've taken care of all that, we're ends the video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you options are ready to go next, you can go in the next video in the playlist. We'll be taking care of the final shrine in the Akala region. And it's going to be truly an amazing experience. Obvious joke is obvious. You can also take an alternate route as well. We're going to get started on some DLC stuff because I think we're getting pretty close to the time to go look for the Master Sword. You can also look for Koroks in the Akala region, or ignore everything and go straight for the Champion's Ballad, which, at this point in the playlist, is honestly not that far away from us. So, yay! Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I believe you, and Vortex to go to next.